Hello, physics. This is Mr. Moore. We're going to do what is called unit conversion today. Okay. Um, this involves things as simple as changing inches to feet, and it goes all the way up to just about any sort of conversions, combining different units. If we do A equals MC squared, it'll tell you what unit you're going to end up with. If we do F equals G times m1 times m2 over r squared, it's going to tell you what you're going to end up with. Newtons, kilograms times meter per second squared, things like that. It's learning to work with all of that. If you've taken chemistry, you should already have a basic idea of how to do this. If you haven't taken chemistry, this is going to help you. Okay. It also helps you in calculus. Just about anything that's math or science related, this helps. And there are different ways of doing it. I have a way of doing it, and other teachers have their way. You find what works for you. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to show you a certain way to do it, but if you find a better way for you that organizes better, go. And just so you know, this is linked in with section 1, 2 of the physics book, but this is something that can stand on its own. Okay. It's something you can look back and watch it to kind of say, okay, well, okay, that's how this works. All right, got it. So let's get started. First of all, let's say I'm going to do this just verbally right now. I'll write it as well. Let's say you've got 1 kilogram and you want to know how many meters that is. Well, most of you know that kilo means 1,000, so that's going to be 1,000 meters. Okay. Well, let's say we have 2.7 kilograms. Well, at this point, some of you might actually start locking up because I know once we get into decimals, that's a magical thing that nobody can understand. No, it's not. Everybody can do it. The rules do not change just because the numbers are a bit weirder. Here, well, 1 became 1,000, so that's going to be 2,000, and the 7 there is 2,700. Now, there's a way to actually do this, and we're going to go into that in a moment. Okay, so 2,700 meters. Very simple. Okay. Very simple idea, and we are going to work with that. Now, if you hear music in the background, I tend to work with music. I work much better if I've got music on in the background, so don't let that weird you out. Okay, first thing you're going to need is, well, one of the things you need is to understand this. These right here, okay? Here, these things, they are critical, all right? You need to understand them. You need to know them, or at least be able, well, don't know them. You need to be able to reference them. And I'm going to show you in a different video how these work. But right now, I'm just going to show you how unit conversion works. So let's go back and we want to change 1 kilogram to grams. Okay. Well, what is the way to do that with unit conversion? Well, what you do is you draw this, you draw a little T chart. Some people do it differently. So you got 1 kilogram. We're going to put that here. That's up top. Now, I want to end up with grams, okay? Well, 1 kilogram is how many grams? Well, let's look back here. 1 kilogram is 10 to the third grams, okay? So let's write that 1 times 10 to the third. Now, I'm assuming you already know how to do scientific notation. If you don't, message me and I can do a video on that as well, okay? Now, and that is the same as 1 kilogram. So these right here are the same, which means I'm multiplying this by 1, okay, because these two cancel each other out. Now, look here, you got kilograms here and here. Those cancel out. And that leaves you with, okay, your unit is grams. That's what's left. Now, you've got this 10 to the third, but so let's write that 10 to the third. And then what's 1 times 1? Well, that's 1. So you have 1 times 10 to the third grams, which is indeed 1 kilogram. Okay. Let's do one. It's a little bit more to it. Now I'm doing this with grams. This goes with anything. Okay. Any units where you have this kind of functionality going on. Let's do 2.7 2.71 kilometers, and we're going to change that to meters, okay? Well, kilo means 1,000, 10 to the third. So again, we start by putting our initial thing here, 2.71 kilometers. Okay, let's do our chart. So 1 kilometer, I'm going to put that on the bottom, is 1 times 10 to the third meters. These are the same, so you're multiplying by 1 here. Kilometers cancel, leaving you with meters as your unit, and it's going to be 2.71 times 10 to the third. Okay, that's simple. Now, let's do one that's a little bit different. And I need to get my calculator out so that I can do this, because I'm going to be doing something a little bit, well, that where I'm actually have to do calculations. Okay. Let's do 25, pardon me, 2.5 times 10 to the fourth feet. And we're going to change that to meters. Well, first thing you're going to do is go to Google, and what is, hey Siri. Siri's not listening to me right now, I'm telling you. I got music playing, she's just going to ignore me. So do the foot to meter conversion, and I'm looking that up right now. And it's 1 foot is 0.305 meters. So write that up here. 1 foot is 0.305 meters, just so you've got it sitting there. Now, let's set up our conversion. 2.5 times 10 to the fourth feet. Okay, let's draw our chart here. I'm not the best drawer in the world. I apologize, but it'll be all right. So 1 foot is the same as 0.305 meters. Feet cancel. So you still got that times 10 to the fourth meters. But now we're going to do 0.305 times 2.5. So bring up the calculator. 0.305 times 2.5, 0.305 times 2.5 equals 0.7625. I'm going to round it off to 0.76. 0.76. Now, you're not going to leave it like this because this is not in scientific notation. Okay? I need to move this here 1, which is going to make this 1 smaller. So this ends up being 7.6 times 10 to the third meters. Okay, so 2.5 times 10 to the fourth feet is 7.6 times 10 to the third meters. That's an example of how this works. Now, up here, we're only doing one conversion across, okay? So watch this video, and then I'm going to have some assignments for you to do where you're just doing one conversion like this, okay? And whatever the conversion is, I'm going to tell you. A couple of them I will give this to you. Several of them I want you to look up, okay? This is one conversion going across. The next video is going to be 2 conversions, okay?